Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. But before we do get into today's first story, I do want to give you a warning that it does contain talk of infertility and death of a child. So if you do want to skip the story, please feel free to do so. Timestamps are always down in the description and along the timeline below. Thank you. This is from the Today I Effed Up subreddit from Luna Nova 5726 and says, "Today I fucked up by ruining my husband's relationship with his best friend. My husband and I, both 35, have been together for 7 years and married for 5. He has 2 older brothers that he isn't particularly close with. The one person he is very close to is his cousin Aaron. They lived together after my husband graduated college. He was the best man at our wedding, and Aaron even lived with us for a year while we were married so he could finish school. I liked Aaron a lot. He has felt like a brother-in-law to me, much more than my actual in-laws have ever felt. My husband and I have had a rough 3 years. Between COVID, there was a point where both our fathers were in terrible health. We've dealt with infertility issues, and sadly in July, we had a stillbirth at 34 weeks pregnant. And Aaron has been there for us through all of that. He's probably the person my husband can lean on the most for support. Last night, I get a call from Aaron's longtime girlfriend, Jennifer. She asked if it was okay if she could come over and have some girl talk with me. Jennifer and Aaron have been together about as long as my husband and I have. She has 3 kids from a previous relationship and we love them. They spend the night at our house and our older kids dog sit for us. She comes over and proceeds to tell me some serious problems she has had with Aaron, and she is at a loss on what to do. The main crux of her issues are Aaron is in an insane amount of debt and has basically used her as a place to crash for 7 years. He's constantly criticizing her for her parenting, saying she babies her teenage children. And finally, he's lying about where he is going and his location, have him at a massage place that does happy endings. I hate to say that the financial issues and the parenting issues I already vaguely knew about. Even my husband and I have called Aaron out about how he talks about the teenagers, but I have no idea how bad it was. We talked through it and I flat out asked her, if he is going to a massage parlor and getting happy endings behind your back, would you still stay with him? And she said yes. So I gave her some advice about boundaries and talking to him, and I left it at that. After she left, I went upstairs and told my husband what she said. He proceeds to have a complete breakdown. He's in tears. I finally get him to talk and he starts saying things like, can I just have one person in my life that I can trust? I can't go to my brothers to talk, and now I can't trust Aaron because I know he's been doing this shit. He's fucking better than this. Just completely and utterly destroyed. I feel terrible. I didn't even think about it when I told him what Jennifer said. I didn't even think that it could ruin their relationship. Aaron is the only person he goes to for advice and really looks up to as a big brother. I just completely destroyed that image. I'm going with the classic pretend it didn't happen technique this morning. I just feel like I completely took away one family member who felt comfortable turning to for emotional support. The fuck do I do? So we have a mini update, some answers to some questions, and also a full update as well in a moment. Now for me in this, you haven't done nothing wrong in the slightest in this situation. In fact, you did the right thing by telling your husband what his best friend has been doing, because if you kept this secret and he found out later, he would have been hurt that you was keeping this secret from him. It's Aaron who's caused all this damage and hurt around him. He's made these choices and now it sounds like he's going to face the consequences of his actions. Maybe, maybe not, we shall see. And I think your husband is just hurting at the moment. Of course he is. He's just, like you said, lost the person he turns to the most for emotional support by the sounds of it. I just hope he starts turning to you for support. You're clearly showing that you're a good friend to him and how much you love him. So I hope he does start turning to you for that support as well, which I'm sure you would appreciate at the same time. But in the comments, Bad at Naming Please Help says, hey OP, I know this is a lousy situation to be in, but please don't add self-blame to the pile of emotions you're probably feeling right now. The person who ruined your husband's friendship with Aaron is Aaron. Your husband sounds really hurt and distraught by Aaron's choices, and he's probably dealing with the moral injury of finding out one of his closest friends has these cruel and selfish tendencies. It sounds like you are a great friend to your husband, and it also sounds like Jennifer is a great friend of yours, not just Aaron. You haven't wronged anyone. You just helped a friend, and you communicated openly with your husband about Aaron. CCHKB says Aaron is responsible for his own actions and the damage it causes, no one else. I feel for your husband, but he also needs to know that everyone has things that will rightfully knock them off whatever pedestal you put them on. Everyone is human, and humans are amazing at making shitty, selfish choices. If anything, knowing those decisions put you in a better place to get advice and perspective from people and apply good judgment on how much weight to give it. Astronomer Forsaken says sometimes the most messed up people give the best advice, even though they screw up their own lives. I've known more than one therapist who had the worst personal lives, mechanics who don't fix their own car, etc. It's possible for him to still be friends and get great advice without condoning his terrible behavior. Curbcheck says this isn't anything you need to feel guilty about. Honestly though, if they're friends, your husband should be willing to put his arms around Aaron and help him see the errors he's making. Reddit is always full of people who say if they loved you, they wouldn't treat you so bad. The truth is that we're all horrible people. We all make mistakes and need forgiveness. Loving another person can never be never hurting someone. In all actually it is always be willing to seek and give forgiveness freely. Remind him that Aaron is only human and needs his cousin to love and support him right now. That is what friendship is. Moth Fairy replies to that and says he also has an absolute right to be privately and deeply disappointed in Aaron's behavior. Finding out your best friend is cheating on his significant other, who in addition is a friend and a good person, is a serious discovery. That's on top of Aaron taking advantage of her for housing and undermining her parenting of her own children. Aaron has been repeatedly and purposely hurting someone for years. This is not a one-time error. Opie's husband is feeling a severe loss in someone that misrepresented themselves as a better person throughout their friendship, and Opie believed in him. Aaron may need some support, but he also needs some tough love. Both are what's needed in this situation. I Like Collarbones also replied to that previous comment and quoted, "Loving another person can never be never hurting someone," and says, "Someone pass me the sick emoji." Love is in action. Every choice we make with others in mind. Sometimes we can hurt those we love accidentally or through omission. Cheating on your wife to go get a tug ain't it. So OP comes back into the post and says, "Yowza. Thank you everyone for your kind words and your jokes. It certainly helped calm down my spiraling brain. I don't have much of an update on Jennifer and Aaron, other than they are broken up. But my husband and I have heard that a time or 20 and I don't really buy it. I will go ahead and give some clarification on some common questions. Why do you think you fucked up?" Opie says, "Honestly, because of my husband's reaction. The minute I realized he was breaking down and crying, in my head I was thinking, shit, oh, I fucked up. I just felt so horrible that I made him upset, and I know it wasn't me. It was what Aaron did that upset him. But maybe it's the former Catholic in me. I'm programmed to look inward for blame. Lol." Someone said, "Is Aaron your husband's only friend?" Opie says, "No. We actually have a great group of friends who are very much our chosen family to us. Aaron is his cousin and the only family member he is really close to. We have a good relationship with his parents and siblings, but they've never been close. He's also the youngest of all the grandkids. His cousins are all at least 5 years older than him, so there was never anyone in his family he was close with growing up. He and Aaron got closer in college, and it felt like he had finally had that person who understood their family that he could confide in." Someone says, "Why aren't you in therapy?" Opie says, "Oh, don't you worry, we're all in therapy. When our baby died, we got into group therapy, couples therapy, and individual therapy. Our couples therapist has been trying to get focus on things to look forward to again. Simple things like going out to dinner, going on a trip, etc. We are unfortunately in a real negative headspace these days, which I think is the other reason he had such a big reaction." Tiny update. My husband and I both work from home. I tried my hardest to avoid the subject about Aaron and Jennifer. Then while I was in the shower, he came in the bathroom and said, "By the way, yes, I'm still pissed about Aaron." We went out to dinner last night. I did apologize to him. Not exactly I'm sorry I told you. More like I'm sorry that happened. He said, you have absolutely nothing to apologize for. I'm pissed off at Aaron. Paranoid me says, you sure you aren't mad at me at all? My husband said, I'm about 1% mad at you. Because you probably should have told me after I ate my gummies. We take Delta 8 gummies at night to sleep. I guess he had already taken a few by the time I came upstairs. I did tell him that there were more shitty things Aaron has done, but I didn't get a chance to tell him because he got so upset. I asked him if he wants to know that stuff, to which he said, not now, maybe another night. We enjoyed our steaks and chilled for the evening. I don't know what is going to happen moving forward. He's very insistent that he is not going to reach out to Aaron, and Aaron still has no idea Jennifer talked to us or that my husband knows all the shit Aaron has done. Maybe he will wake up tomorrow in a different timeline, where no bad things ever happen. We can all dream, right? Someone makes a comment about the husband trying to find new friends. OP says, we have a great group of friends that we absolutely love. My husband doesn't really have anyone in his family he's close to. I think Aaron made him feel still connected to his family. While we have a cordial relationship with his parents and siblings, he never had a sibling bond. One of his brothers is an addict and the other is a born-again Christian, so he doesn't feel comfortable talking about the difficult stuff with them. But he could with Aaron, and Aaron knows what their families are like. Someone says, does he not trust you? Opie says he was more referring to his immediate family in that moment. His brothers, his dad, his cousins. Unfortunately, there is a lot of drama in his family. Aaron is the only family member he is really close to. And there were some comments saying to OP that, did the woman tell you this in confidence? And if so, maybe you shouldn't have shared this information to your husband. And OP says, a lot of people have been asking why I told my husband. So I'll clarify a bit more here. So basically, Jennifer called me and asked if she could come over and have a chat with us about Aaron. She specifically said she wanted to talk to someone who knows Aaron well. She alluded to relationship issues, and the fact she wanted to come over on a random workday unprompted is odd. I had a bad feeling Aaron had done something shitty. I got off the phone and told my husband Jennifer was coming over. He had the same thought I did. They've had an on-off relationship for years. I was hoping and praying it was just something stupid. My husband then asked me if he should be a part of the conversation. I said no, that maybe it would be better if it was just the girls. When Jennifer had got there, she asked if my husband was going to chat with us in a should we wait for him kind of way. So at the end of the conversation, it wasn't weird for me to go up and tell him what we talked about. When he came upstairs, he said, well, what is it? To which I said, it's cheating. It really felt to me Jennifer wanted both of us in on the conversation, especially since my husband and Aaron are so close. I may have been wrong, but I was trying to give her the space to be open. So OP comes in with their full update, first shares the link and says, here's the link to my previous post, and it says, the TLDR, a while ago I posted that I fucked up by ruining my husband's relationship with his cousin and surrogate brother. Basically, we found out his cousin Aaron was treating his long-term girlfriend horribly. I told my husband and he was completely destroyed to learn that Aaron was being such a dick. Anyway, on to the update. After Jennifer confided in me, my husband had his meltdown and I panic typed on Reddit. I sat on everything Jennifer told me for a few days. At the end of the day, she told me she didn't want to break up, and I can't tell her to break up with someone. And my husband, while still pissed, hasn't revealed to Aaron we all know the shit he has done. But I realized her self-esteem must be so low that she is willing to stay with someone that treats her like shit. So I had my mission. Build up Jennifer's self-esteem so that she will break up with Aaron on her own. It worked. I sent Jennifer these two books someone recommended about loving yourself. I'm not a very crunchy person, but Jennifer is. Books were a little too inner goddess, other guy for me, but both books are women talking about experiencing abuse and rising above to be career women. It reminded me of Jennifer crying to me and saying, I feel like all I do is support his dreams. When is it my turn? Which broke my heart when she said that. So I sent her the books and wrote her a note saying that I loved her and I wanted her to realize how amazing she is. After that, she kicked Aaron out of the bedroom and made him sleep in a separate room in her house. She told him that if he wanted to continue their relationship, and since he refused to prove he wasn't at a massage parlor, she asked to see his bill statements for that day and he wouldn't show her. If he wanted back in her bed, he needed to agree to couples counseling, which of course he didn't want to do. He kept begging to sleep back in bed with her. When she told me, I commended her for putting up a good boundary and encouraged her to stick to that boundary. A couple of weeks ago, Aaron and Jennifer came into town and met us for lunch. My husband and Aaron went out with Jennifer, and I went out alone. Jennifer was commenting about them having issues because she still won't let him back in her bed. Basically, he started doing petty shit like changing all the passwords to their streaming services, but then he made a romantic dinner for her the next night. I started putting the bug in her head that Aaron needed to move out. I carefully worded it and just said, it doesn't mean you have to break up, but he needs to get out of your house. And I sent her a podcast episode about a woman leaving her cheating ex. Not as subtle, but I thought I could push it a little. Last night we got the call. Aaron called my husband and said, Jennifer and I broke up. It's permanent this time. Then Jennifer texted me saying that Aaron was officially kicked out and he's living with a friend. They had a big blowout because they share a music account and he deleted all of her playlists. She even left the house and had her brother and mother stay while he got all of his stuff. He of course had to be petty on his way out and took all of her remotes. I told my husband and he immediately overnighted her new remotes and new streaming services for her to use. They still have their finances tangled up a little bit, but hopefully she can get that undone quickly. She appreciated that my husband and I supported her, even though we are Aaron's family. She is really hoping my husband can help Aaron get his shit together. Unfortunately, I think my husband is really done with Aaron. We've been going through our own grief counseling and issues with my family, and he just doesn't have room for Aaron's bullshit. He told me what disappoints him the most is that he is rethinking every conversation he and Aaron ever had. At my husband's bachelor party, Aaron went missing for an hour. He told us, and Jennifer, it was because he couldn't find his car. Now knowing everything we know, he was probably getting a prostitute. He told us Jennifer asked him to buy a van when they first started dating so they had enough room for the 3 kids. But now we know, Jennifer never asked him to do that. He just showed up with a van and his stuff, and moved his ass on in. I told him, however, he wants to move forward with Aaron in his decision. Aaron has been there for us during some really awful times. I would love a scenario where Aaron would be honest and my husband could help him in some way. But that is up to my husband. Even my therapist said to me, do you have room for this right now? And the clear answer is no. I do hope at the end of the day this breakup is permanent, and I really hope Aaron and Jennifer stay single for a while. I think that's a pretty happy ending. That's probably not the right choice of words at the end of this one. It's a positive ending for OP and for Jennifer in this one. And I say that lightly because, you know, Jennifer's still going to be hurt for what she's been going through. But it sounds like their relationship has been rocky for a long time, especially in the way that he's been treating her as well, the way that he was petty towards the end of the relationship, and obviously going out to massage parlors and stuff like that. And fair play to the OP in this for building Jennifer up and making her realize her self-worth. And I was quite surprised. There were still a lot of people talking about OP that she shouldn't have shared the information to begin with to her husband, and I was quite shocked by that because I can understand something small or something like that, but this is quite a massive thing that affects the husband as well and could have real serious consequences to her own relationship if this information was to come out later down the line. OP knew about it and didn't share it with her husband. It could have absolutely destroyed them, I think. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that? I just was quite shocked by that for myself. Not saying I'm right or wrong, but I was quite shocked by it. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let's put the question out there. Would you have told your partner if you was given this information? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, support, and time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved. It's absolutely incredible. I always get extra emotion around Christmas time. You know what I'm like. I've been receiving some amazing pet tags and just pictures of what you're up to whilst you're listening over on Twitter or X at Mark Narrations. Come share. I always love to see it. Thank you so much, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.